Oh well, it has been forever since we last brought out a video, so if you're watching this, thank you. Thank you for coming back and joining us. Ewan is here too. He will be speaking in a minute. But yeah, I think it's been, I'm gonna guess and say over 2 years. My hair has definitely got greyer, yes. And life has changed a lot, and in this video we're going to tell you why we haven't been posting any videos and what has changed in our life. So if you've been following our videos previously, you'll know that we were on a bit of an epic journey. Obviously we did lots of travelling, we visited lots of different countries and shared them in our videos, but behind the scenes of all that we were also going through some pretty grueling fertility treatment. We travelled to Bulgaria, we had IVF there, and we actually spent 8 years trying to start a family. Well, something really crazy happened, and in the year 2023 I fell pregnant naturally. So we actually still had an embryo in the freezer in Bulgaria, which we were about to pretty much go and transfer. We'd kind of lost all hope, we didn't really think it was going to work, and then miraculously I fell pregnant. We're going to share a little bit about all that with you in this video. But fast forward 9 months after that, and at the end of April 2024, I gave birth to a baby boy, and we finally had the family that we'd always dreamed of. So quite a few people have been in touch asking where we've been, and obviously we've been wanting to do this video for so long, and we're really sorry that it's taken all this time to actually get round to doing it. But quite a few people got in touch and asked us some questions, but also people that we know, who know us, who know that we've had a son, also asked us some questions. So we thought it'd be quite fun to just do a short video answering some of those questions and just really telling you, where we're at now with things.
Life is completely turned upside down, to be honest, in a good way, of course, but I'm not going to lie to you, it's really tough. Romana and I spent most of our kind of like 30s and 40s travelling and being independent and being on our own, and now we've got this little person to look after. It's a complete turnaround. You don't really know until you go through it what a change it is. Literally, he is dominating all your time, whether it be changing nappies, bathing him, feeding him, playing with him, and you don't get a lot of sleep. Now, I'm not complaining, but it is very full on. It is like a full-time job, and much respect to people who have more than one kid. My family, my mum came from a big family, and my dad, I don't know how they did it with like 5 on one side, 9 on the other side. It's crazy. But it is quite remarkable, because we've been dreaming about having a wee one for all this time, and when it actually happened, you're like, when he's running about and he's smiling at you and he's laughing, and even when he's crying, you're like, I can't believe this is happening. It's very surreal. But our life has definitely changed completely.
The pregnancy was definitely challenging. There was so much anxiety. When I first found out I was pregnant, I really could not believe it was happening. And I'd love to say that there was this like joyful moment when I found out I was pregnant, but in all honesty, there was just anxiety right from the beginning. I was just convinced that something was going to go wrong, because obviously we'd had a previous miscarriage. There was a lot of, grief surrounding that still, and just worry that it was going to happen again, because by now I was even older, So at the beginning, I paid a lot of money to get lots of tests done, lots of blood tests, constantly measuring my pregnancy hormone. We then got a test done, I think, at 9 weeks to rule out any major chromosomal abnormalities like Down syndrome, Edwards syndrome, Patau syndrome. And again, we were convinced that that was going to come back high risk, and we were completely flabbergasted when it came back low risk. But even then, there was still just so much worry, and I had a lot of morning sickness. I mean, they call it morning sickness. I don't know why they call it morning sickness, because this was like 24/7. And really, for me, it lasted probably until about 7 months into the pregnancy. So that was really tough. And even on the day that we had our son, on the day of my C-section, I had a scheduled C-section, we were both still so anxious and convinced that something was going to go wrong. So don't get me wrong, I enjoyed being pregnant and knowing that I was growing a baby, but it was hard, just because of the sickness and the anxiety. So I mentioned there before that I had a scheduled C-section, so it was a planned one. I had a lot of friends who had attempted a natural birth and had ended up having to have emergency C-sections and had really bad experiences. And I just kind of felt like, we'd gone through so much to get to this stage that I didn't really want to take any risks. And not to say that a C-section is risk-free, obviously it isn't. But I just wanted things to go as smoothly as possible. So I decided that if there was no sign of him by the time I got to, the 39-week mark, then I would go ahead with a C-section. Because of my age, I was told that if there was no sign of him by the 39-week mark, I would have to be induced, and I didn't really want to do that. So I kind of said to myself, well, if he comes before that, I'll do a natural birth. I'll attempt a natural birth, but if not, then we'll do the C-section. And we did, and I'm really glad we did. For us, it seemed like the right thing to do, and it was very straightforward. And healing, happened quite good. I healed quite well. Obviously, it was a little bit painful, but it was a lovely experience. The birth, lots of drugs, which I'm not gonna lie, I quite enjoyed. I quite enjoyed the morphine. But it was good, and just seeing him for the first time was completely surreal, and just a moment that I will never ever forget.
So when he was born, he was taken straight away. He was crying straight away, which is a good sign, obviously, and then he was taken into this little room to be weighed. And I went in there and I had to cut the umbilical cord. But the first thing I noticed when I saw him was the size of his balls. They were red and swollen, and that's the first thing I said to the nurse. I was like, "Oh my God, what's wrong with his balls? They're huge." And she just laughed and says, "It's really normal. They're like that." And because I thought they were absolutely massive. I've got a photograph of that, a video, in fact. I was like, "Oh, look at the size of his balls." But that was unbelievable, and that cut the cord, and he was just crying, and it was massively emotional, and but it was also quite scary as well, because Romana was essentially getting cut open, and so it was like you're sort of half making sure Romana's all right and the wee guy's all right. So there was a lot going on. But after that, we got to settle into a few days in hospital and just be together in the roasting hot hospital that it was. But it's an amazing experience, and one that I'll never forget.
Do you know, we actually have. And every time we planned a trip, we always said, right, we're going to film this, we're going to do a vlog. And it just never happened, because everything is just so much more full on right now. But a few months after he was born, we actually decided to do a cruise, just a mini one. If you watched our previous videos, you'll know that we did our first ever cruise with Ewan's dad to the Norwegian fjords, and we really enjoyed it. So when he was a few months old, we thought, why don't we try a cruise, but just a little mini one. So we actually went to Cork in Ireland, and also Weymouth in England, I think, if I remember correctly. And it was just, I think it was 3 or 4 nights, and it was great. We really enjoyed it. And at that age, it was quite easy because, you know, he was still a baby, so he slept a lot. But yeah, that was quite good. And then in January last year, we went to Gran Canaria just for a couple of weeks of chill time in a nice hotel, so that was great. And then we went to Ireland for my cousin's wedding, and we also went to Poland. We went to Gdansk for a few nights too, so that was great. So he's actually a pretty well-travelled child. We also did some kind of breaks in the UK too, but we are actually filming this from another cruise that we are on at the moment. So we decided that while he's still young, you know, once he starts school, it's going to be a lot harder to do kind of long holidays. So we decided to do a 35-night transatlantic Caribbean cruise. So we're on board Iona at the moment, P&O, and that is the same cruise line that we did the Norwegian fjords with. And we just decided that it would be fun to see the Caribbean because we've never been there before. So that is what we're doing right now.
So the difficulty now with having our little baby boy is finding the time to vlog, edit, film. We found that particularly difficult because it takes time, and because you always have to have both eyes on him. So we're not vlogging this cruise. Unfortunately, I've taken some shots, but you know, you really need the time to do it, and it's just hard to find the time, sadly. So, you know, we're going to try and have a chat and try and adapt. As he gets a bit older, it might get a bit easier. But I think we've taken the stance as well that we don't want our wee boy on film and up on social media. I think we want him to choose that. So we'd rather keep him out of things like that. But not ruling anything out in the future in terms of trying to get back into vlogging. It's just at the moment it's pretty full on looking after our wee boy.
But we do still have a little bit of a backlog of footage from our Asia trip. We never really actually finished bringing those vlogs out. So our aim over the next few months is to kind of finish that series. So Ewan will be editing the rest of those videos, and we will be bringing them out, although they're probably not going to be like every week. So just keep an eye on the channel if you're interested in those, because there's still some quite fun videos from Laos and Thailand that we want to share with you. And as Ewan said, you know, we do still want to make content. It's just difficult right now. It really is hard to find the time. Even on this cruise, you know, we thought, well, we've got 35 nights, we'll be able to do it. But yeah, it's just full on. So we really hope that we will be back with some more current vlogs soon. Please do stay subscribed to the channel. And I just want to thank you for your support, for watching the videos. And I just want to say how blessed we feel to, you know, have our son, because we know that there's people who, you know, people that we know, people that we don't know, who have also been through long fertility journeys, and sadly for them it didn't end in a baby, and that could have so easily been us as well. So our heart does go out to those people, and yeah, we do just feel so blessed that for us it worked out, but we're aware that it doesn't always work out, and not everyone does get that happy ending. But hopefully, you know, people can still have a good, fulfilled life, even without a child. So yeah, thank you so much for watching our update, and as I say, we'll be back soon with more of our Asia vlogs. I want to kind of start being a wee bit more active again on Instagram. We haven't really posted anything even on our Instagram account since he was born, so that's something we're going to try and be a bit more proactive on, just posting some life updates and things that are happening, places that we're going. So we're definitely going to be trying to do that more soon. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and we'll hopefully see you again soon.